Names changed for anonymity. Happened a few years back. This is a long one, so TLDR at the bottom. Background. I got a job working for a small hardware company. 4 people in the office, a few in the warehouse, and a delivery driver. Nothing fancy, but it got me off the night shift to go dance. The owner was a pretty nice guy. Called him Ray. Ray took over the family business in the early 2000s. Like most small business owners, he was pretty frugal. The job came with absolutely 0 perks. 10 vacation days that doubled as sick days, no insurance, everyone was hourly, and Ray hated paying overtime. He had one large customer that accounted for about half of his business, and everything after that was profit. He'd gotten to the point where the business was doing well enough to support his comfortable life. 10 to 3 schedule, 4 weeks vacation, season baseball tickets, and had 0 interest in growing it beyond that point. But my problem was not with Ray. It was with the absolute B in the purchasing department. The players. 4 people in the office meant that every part of this business fell to one of us. Ray was the owner. He negotiated large-scale orders both with customers and suppliers. Sarah was our admin/receptionist, sweet as pie. I was in charge of order processing and logistics, and I did quite a bit of work revamping the company website. Ingrid, aka B Supreme, handled small-scale purchasing and most of the other customers. Ingrid was a living nightmare, sent to punish all of mankind for our hubris. She had the personality of a one-dimensional Stephen King character that would be whipping an unruly mob into a frenzy. She was trash, plain and simple. She was also the most spiteful, hate-filled, vindictive Gorgon to ever walk God's green earth. She was a born-again Christian, so she went to church every Sunday. She thought she could do no wrong. Ingrid, for whatever reason, disliked me from my first day. I don't know if she saw me as a threat or was just having a mood swing. I'm no psychologist, but I'm 98% sure she was bipolar. But she was not happy about my joining the company. She kept it civil at first. Ingrid loved to gossip at anybody who would listen, and since I was always at my desk, I made for a captive audience. Everything she said was vile and mean-spirited, and most of it was blatant projection. She would complain about which actresses she didn't like because they were too fat. Ingrid was easily north of the 300-pound mark or had an annoying voice. Ingrid had a slight lisp. She would tell stories about how she was with her son at the grocery store and he yelled at a Polish woman to speak American or get out of the country, like she was proud of it. All in all, just one of the worst people I've ever had to work with. In spite of that, I felt I could just ignore Ingrid's bullcrap and do my job. But then she started focusing her dislike of me into petty hatred. The spiral down. Ingrid would take anything and everything personally. If I didn't say good morning to her, she would complain to Ray that I was being rude. Ray knew that she had a screw loose, so he dismissed it. She didn't like that. She started trying to frame me for not entering orders that she claimed to have given me a week ago. I quickly put that crap to bed by date stamping every order that came across my desk and checking with her, Ray, and Sarah for new orders every hour on the hour. Every time something went wrong, her knee-jerk reaction was to blame me and throw me under the bus. The breaking point. One of our larger customers bought from us because their purchaser was a friend of Ingrid's. She made the connection between the businesses, and Ray gave her a decent commission from it. I had met through a friend of a friend the purchaser from another large manufacturing company that uses products very similar to ours. Ray told me if I could get them to submit a sample order, he'd give me the same kind of commission. But that was all on me, because drumming up new business was extra work that he didn't want to do. Now, like I said, this job had no perks, so any shot at extra cash was a godsend. I rode my desk hard, my phone, my email, chasing this lead like a hungry dog. Finally, I got the purchaser to agree to submit the order. I was over the moon. Enter Ingrid. The whole time she was pouring doubt and skepticism over the entire venture. Really, she just didn't want anybody else to achieve what she had. Sarah was on vacation, so Ingrid had taken over front desk duties for the week. I don't hear back from the purchaser. Ever. Eventually, I get a hold of him a month later and ask when he was going to send the sample order. He told me he called a few weeks back and that the lady he spoke to said our company didn't have the capacity to supply what they wanted. I asked him what day he called. Turns out it was during the week Ingrid was answering phones.